Hello again, guys. It's TDubs Games here. Getting ready to do our third installment, second episode in the Serbia campaign for Victoria 2 on the historical flavor mod. I'm launching into the game here. Let's see. Gonna pick up on where we left off here. Gotta do a little gather back around, see what we were doing. Let's see, so we're at our force limit. Economy's looking good. Still encouraging intellectuals. I think we're ready to start playing. Bump it up to 4 speed. I have noticed every time I restart the save, the economy tends to take a little dip for some reason. I think it's just the marketplace rebalancing. Seeing what goods are in demand, that kind of stuff, so if you see that happen at the beginning, it's nothing to worry about. Really need our diplo points to come in here so we can improve the Russian Empire again. How far away are we from getting into their sphere? Still need 47.3 points. El Salvadorian thaw. So they will have split off from the FRCA. Not that that's important to us or anything. Let's see, who are these guys allied with? Honduran thaw. So we have our Casus Belli here. Acquire cores, acquire all cores. So if we do acquire core, we'll only go to war for 1 core. If we do acquire all cores, we'll go to war for all 3 cores. Which is considerably more difficult to try to achieve. They are allied with the Russians, but I don't think that'll last very long because of the Crimean War incident. That alliance won't be around for very long. One of the coolest features about Victoria 2 is actually the newspapers that pop up here. Just got news about different things. Sometimes when you get a different country, I know Japan has like Japanese up here. Pretty cool feature of the game. Just all the details. I typically don't read these. It's cool like when you first start out to have something like this, but I've played this game so many times I don't really care to read these anymore. We have another 2 more points we can increase in the Russia, and we got another cap or another point added to our force limit. So I'm going to go ahead and build another infantry unit. We have 17,000 in the bank right now. Doing pretty good so far. We'll probably want to take some commerce tech here in a minute to help us our economy stay where it's at. The more intellectuals we encourage, the higher our education budget will be. How much money we're spending on education, because we have more intellectuals. It's going to cost more to pay them to keep our people getting educated. She doesn't look like anyone's building any infantry because our infantry started right away. Good sign. In a minute, Hungary should break off. Weaver's uprising. Nothing big for us, just Prussia. Try to keep these videos to around 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes. Our upper house got rearranged again. And we have an autosave. Need some water. Let's see here. Samos. Don't really know who that is. They have an Oriental crisis. That happens. Who are they at war with? So we have all the different wars here. They all get different names. I know if you have multiple wars, so there's like another opium war. I think it would be the second opium war or something like that. Pretty cool that he keeps up with that. Voting rights rescinded in the Yucatan. Who do we got here? We got Ottomans and Samos. They're trying to puppet Egypt. So this is like the battle screen. I don't know if I showed this off in our first video, but you have the force limit of, or the military strength of each side here. These are the attackers and these are the defenders. We see the different war goals. So England, East India Company, and Hudson Bay are at war with China right now. The is that Qing Empire? I'm not real good at remembering how to pronounce Chinese names. But they have the negotiated unequal treaty. When they get this war goal, they will be able to establish a port. They'll take over one of the ports in China, probably Hong Kong or something like that. And all China wants to do is keep the status quo, keep everything how it is. We have the war score here. The more battles you fight, occupations. If Britain takes control of a province that is in the war goal, they'll get bonuses for as long as they keep it. This will go up. Britain needs to get to this purple arrow, or not purple, what am I saying? Brown arrow. When they get there, they pretty much have the war won. Depending on the war exhaustion mechanic, how much war exhaustion the Chinese have, that'll dictate if they accept a peace, if they're willing to peace out. So you see, we're already at 7 research points on our medicine here. It's pretty big. We got 2 more diplo points still. I'll add those to Russia. See, our military score also has been going up since we built that 4th unit. You hear the drum roll and the music. That's what happens whenever you build a unit. Increase Russia again. So we're pretty close. One more increase here and we'll be at max with them. We also have war justifications. If anyone's justifying war within another nation with the justify war button here, that's how you get your casus belli to go to war with people if you don't already have cores and stuff. Since we already have cores, starting out as Serbia, we won't have to do this right off the bat. But that's how you get infamy. If wars get justified, it'll show all of ours here. But say Russia is justifying on Austria or something, they want to take some Austrian provinces. If that gets exposed, it'll pop up here. And then they'll get infamy for being exposed. I think if you try to take a state from a country, you risk getting 11 infamy. There are events that speed up how quickly you get this. I think states are normally around 200 to 300 days. There's a different government types and technologies that speed up casus belli generation speed. And if you do get caught, that 11 infamy is not straight up 11 infamy is if you get caught right at the beginning. If you're 50% through, you'll get 5.5 infamy if you get exposed. So it's a pretty neat little mechanic. Some people call it bad boy. If you do go to war with a nation and you want to take additional provinces, you can add war goals. And when you add the war goals, you get the full infamy penalty for whatever you're doing, since the war's already started. And casus belli do expire. Not, since we have ones for our core provinces, they never expire. But if we wanted to take, say we wanted to go to war with Wallachia and we wanted to take, I don't think we can take any provinces. Yeah, since they're one big state here, you can't take one big state. You have to take little states. So since Austria has many states, we could take this one. But that's already our core. We could take that one. But that would add 11 infamy to us if we were going for war. And we took this one. That would add an additional 11 infamy if we added that as a war goal. But yeah, since Wallachia is one entire state here, you would have to take a conquest, casus belli. Let's see, we finished medicine. We're going to go for idealism. Get that research bonus, get some extra prestige. It'll be finished in 1844. I anticipate it'll be done earlier than that, though, seeing as how we're still encouraging intellectuals, and it'll help our literacy go up. But we are at the full 2% optimization for intellectuals as far as how many they can add to research points. Any additional over that will increase literacy, which will also have an effect on the research points. See, we get 0.16 additional research points for the literacy. I'm not sure if that's what percentage that is. I think it's twice. It's like 4 times the literacy rate, maybe. There's some calculation in there. Increase again. We are at full relations with the Russians, and I would go so far as to say I imagine we're pretty close with being in their sphere. Let me check that. We are in their sphere. There we go. You see our economy took a little dip because we're not getting as much from our tariffs anymore since they're taking our territory, or taking our geos. So I'm going to have to find something to cut back on here. I really don't want to do education, but I will probably have to do that to save some money here. Go ahead and drop that down to about 70. I want to keep administration at 50. I think if you go below 50, you lose some administrative efficiency. I'll drop military spending down to about 30. Let me run with this, see how this goes. It's up and down. Seeing a lot more negatives than we are positives, though. It's a little concerning. But I'll just let that run. I'll monitor the bank, see if we're losing a lot of money. Hopefully not, but I think we ought to be fine. So here we have the Treaty of Nanjing. The British took a port over here. I'm going to probably guess Hong Kong. Yeah, they took Hong Kong, as Portugal has one here as well, Macau. So that's what the negotiate unequal treaty does. They get a port on the coast, like they did in historical, in real life. So we got aerial bacteria and antiseptic principle, add army attrition, or take away army attrition, military hospitals, and we got additional pop growth. Military hospitals means after each battle you suffer, any men that leave the total army, you go to battle, you obviously lose men, but I think you get a percentage back, or you get them back faster after a battle if you have a good military hospitals. We're losing 3 a month, or 3 a day. Why do I keep saying month? That's not good. Drop this down to 50. I really hate to do this though, because we will lose some of our gain on our literacy. But I prefer to stay positive in the cash versus literacy. I don't want to take out any loans just yet. Let's pause here. Since we are full relations with the the Russians, we'll go ahead and send them an alliance. Step 1 in our strategy is almost done here. There we go. You see where the fog of war gets lifted. Next, I'm going to try to get buddied up with Greece. See what we can do there. You see their navies moving through here. We can kind of see what's going on down here now. And I think earlier I pronounced, is it Moldovia? Is it Moldova? Or Moldavia. Moldavia. As I was saying Moldava. Just a little pet peeve. I like to pronounce things correctly. Let's see here. Not the Ottomans. I did not want to click on them. You see this? We have the red cross swords here. That means they're mobilized. But, damn, they've taken a beating. The Ottomans are not looking in good shape, you guys. I only have 21 points. Remember when they started the game, they had like 53. They're 28th now. It's not looking real good for the dying man of Europe. This is going to play to our advantage, hopefully. I would like to ally Greece, get them in on the war with the Ottomans when that comes. Like I said, hopefully Hungary will break off here pretty soon. When that happens, we will need to go full maintenance on our military stockpile, and we will mobilize. So we'll have 24 men here, 4 brigades of regular infantry and 4 brigades of mobilized infantry. Let's take a look at our generals. So see, this guy has different background and personality. He gets different stats. I really like that 1+ attack. That helps him on attack rolls. Morale's good. Organization's not great, but we'll take it. Speed boost, and reliability boost. We have all these different guys here. He has a defense penalty. Would not want to take him into battle. But I think this is probably our best guy right now. Economy's still not looking great. That's probably because we're still encouraging people to become intellectuals. More intellectuals, more we pay. So I'm willing to snub that for a little bit. I'm not going to go 100% maintenance, though. I don't think we could afford 12 a day. So we're waiting on either the Crimean War to fire or Hungary to split off from, or to declare independence from Austria. Got 2 more points. Let me ally or increase with Greece. The cool thing is, when we get more points, you can click Form Alliance and it'll tell you if they'll accept it or not. So that way you won't just waste your points trying to get people to ally you when you know it's not going to work. Our economy's back in the green here. That's good. It's because we're making more money from our tariffs too. Wonder what that came from. Increased production maybe. What tech do I want to go with next? I'll probably take Malthusian thought, positivism, functionalism, And then biologism. Biologism's big because we have Darwinism, adds 50 plus education efficiency. That's really big. All of these will give us 10 apiece just for researching it. And then Darwinism will give us an additional 50% on that, which will really help our literacy shoot through the roof. We'll research faster. Something in idealism. Hopefully, by the time I get done with functionalism, biologism will be unlocked. It'll be after 1850. And then I'll probably take mechanized mining. Maybe some commerce techs if we need it. I think our military will be good right now. Just by itself. I will want to industrialize eventually. Add an additional unit, that's pretty good. Especially considering we're not fully funding our military. And since we do have 4 infantry already, which is typically what I like to play with in a stack at the beginning of the game, I'll go ahead and build an artillery. We can research different techs to boost artillery compatibility. Muzzle-loaded rifles will give us engineers, iron muzzle-loaded artillery. It's better artillery attack, artillery support, that's pretty big. We'll want to get military staff system eventually to get the hussars. And army professionalism is pretty big as well. Adds to some, I think it gives you morale. Yeah, military tactics, that helps you in battle, obviously. Strategic mobility is pretty good, build better forts. You dig in better, so if I leave this unit here for a while, they'll dig in. They'll gain dig-in points, and any unit that attacks it will have worse rolls. We'll get a bonus when we roll in our battles. I'll show you that later when we get into some battles. Let's see here. Will they accept an alliance? Will not accept. And see, it gives you a diplomatic value. It tells you why not. They already have too many alliances. I think we can overcome that, though. Yeah, we have a bonus because we're both feeling threatened by the Ottomans. Which is pretty good for us. Our literacy's up to 5. Still gaining on research points here. Doesn't look like we've gained too much. I don't remember what idealism was when we took it. I think it was still 1844, but I don't remember what month. So I'm going to say it hasn't been too terribly beneficial. Russia allied with the Ottomans. The one thing about Russia is an AI. You see they have 4 units here, 1 here, and they like to stack units over here. They like to stack a lot of units on the Chinese border. They have, what is that, 42 each? They have 84,000 men on the Chinese border, plus, 30 right there. So they have more men on the Chinese border than the European border. And that's what really, I don't really like that. That's kind of stupid to me. They typically don't go to war with China. I think they get an event to take Outer Manchuria here. So this will all become Russian eventually. I think it's pretty big and cold too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh. Autosave. Yeah, all of these are coal generating provinces, and then we got wheat right there. So that kind of, it's a pretty good event to get there, especially if you take a boost in coal production. That'll be very beneficial. Moldovia boosts with us. Is Moldovia an independent? No, they're still a satellite. We cannot form alliances with satellites, unfortunately. We'll probably look to ally Romania when they become a thing, and we'll look to take over Bulgaria. So with that done, I'll go for Malthusian Thought. That'll be done next year. Actually, under a year. It's pretty good for us. And increase with Greece again. The Oregon Treaty. So that's an event for America. They get Oregon. It starts out in British hands, but they get an event to take that from British hands, like it happened in history. I'm going to take off intellectuals in about 0.4, 0.5. We're going to get them up to 4%. I'll take them off. We got an additional man here. I'm going to build another artillery unit. Not sure if we can really afford to fund our military, but I'm going to drop that down to not 10. I do not like 10%. That's going to take us forever to recover when we're ready to go to war. It's going to take quite some time to get back to 100. And we'll want to be at 100 when we go to war. Our units will perform worse. They'll be out of supply. Not really something you want to deal with. So you really need to plan around. If you decide, hey, I want to declare war on the Ottomans, plan around that. Go ahead and make sure your military is fully funded. Mobilize if you have to. Just be prepared. So you see with that, we actually gained 2 research points with that last tech. idealism. And I think the next one unlocks in 1860, if I'm not mistaken. We'll see here. Empiricism, 1860. Take another sip of water. Sorry if you can hear that, guys. That's a little gross. See, our population's going up 2,000 in the last month, which is pretty good. Probably a result of our medicine tech. We can hemorrhage about 4 currency a month, 4 pounds a month. That's not awful. I'm not gonna be upset about that. It's the price of running a country. There's the age of liberalism. Every country in the game gets this. While Napoleon and his armies have been defeated, the fundamental ideas of the French Revolution have not been. In Germany, the old crowns of the Holy Roman Empire have been wrought to naught, and the feudal contracts of old replaced by Napoleonic civil codes. Everywhere in Europe, in coffee houses and universities, the ideas of liberalism, political reform, freedom of speech, and the rights of the people, rather than monarchs, are proving again the old proverb that there is no stopping an idea whose time has come. Minorities didn't follow with the mouse and I can't pronounce words. Minorities long yoked under the crowns and scepters are waking up to the realization that fate is theirs to make, and across the faraway oceans, the riches of Africa and Asia beckon. As the dust settles on Waterloo, Europe stands again at the beginning of a new era, the age of liberalism. So this will have some pretty negative effects, honestly. We'll lose prestige, gain militancy and consciousness. Militancy means the likelihood your rebels will, or your population will attack, they'll form rebels, and they'll spawn on the map, you have to deal with all that. Consciousness isn't the worst. It does lead to, like, rebels if it gets too high and they get too militant, but it does give you benefits in terms of, where was that? Sorry, guys. Plurality. Plurality will increase, by consciousness, and that will increase our research rate. So you get some and you get some. You give some and you get some, I guess. So you get more research, but you also get a higher chance of getting rebels. 5% become more liberal, and the percentage of people that support liberal gain 4 consciousness. So how many people do we have liberal? 17%. So we'll see 17% times 4 jump in consciousness, I think. Not quite, but... or maybe. That seems right. Increase again, increase. Economy is looking alright now. Over here we have the ledger. This is just useful to check out anything you want to learn about any of the countries. Gives you all kinds of information. Pop types. There's our province population. Give you numbers, graphs, that kind of cool stuff. Full on analysis. You gotta find country, province. If you want to find something, you can look it up here. There's a menu that brings up the menu. Zoom in and out. I'm gonna clear these off the thing. Those aren't really important. If you want to read them, you can. They don't really add anything to me, though. So we'll probably run this until probably 1846, or we can wait till Malthusian thought in the video there. So we'll check here before we get Malthusian thought and see what percentage of our people, what our literacy rate's growing at. I'm sorry. Right now we're at 0.04. That's with us funding half of our intellectuals. If we went all the way up, we'd get probably 0.8, if I'm not mistaken. So then we'll go ahead and take positivism. Take that, and I'll call the video here, guys. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for episode 4.